Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome for the first time. Hi Mom. We're gonna do some baking today. Pretty simple. I've got 2 cups of flour here. I actually did 1 cup of all-purpose white flour and 1 cup of whole wheat, partially because the fact that I'm out of white flour. So this is kind of an experiment. I'm sure it's still gonna be good regardless. You can always use just all-purpose, just whole wheat, doesn't matter. So 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and then half a teaspoon of cinnamon. You can always add a little bit more cinnamon, but I wouldn't go overboard with it because sometimes it messes with things rising. So I'm just gonna do the half teaspoon. It's fine. In this bowl that I am crushing up ever so violently, just kidding, it's not violent at all. It's quite nice. This is just half a cup of packed brown sugar, half a cup of white sugar, and the recipe that I kind of was looking at for this, I've cut this back by a 1/4 cup of sugar. So another reason why I'm not really doing the topping, I have to watch this spare tire and keep it at a certain inflation. I don't want it to get out there. So personal preference, again, no judgment. It's just how I like to roll. So this is pretty simple. We're going to pour this in. I'm going to move the camera so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing here because I am not the star of the show. It's always going to be the food. And then I'm going to whisk this. Okay, hopefully that's a better angle. So we've got the butter in with the sugar. It's going to get a whisk up. Nothing too crazy. One thing with muffins, if you've ever made them before and you've ever had an issue with them rising, odds are it's due to the fact of overmixing. That's not at this stage yet though. That's later on and I'll point that out. So easy peasy, we're just going to crack some eggs in. If you're ever worried, again, at this stage, blending's okay. You can't, I mean, I'm sure you can overblend, but I mean, you can't at the same time. It's this weird thing to say, but for things like eggs, you always want to make sure it's well mixed. Nobody wants to get a little bit of scrambled egg in anything but scrambled eggs. So if I left it like that and thought, oh, okay, that's good, we'll move on, that's definitely not good. So sometimes it helps, see now you don't see the egg, to do them one at a time. Oh, that was a little aggressive. Jeez, Christy. Calm yourself. I should probably stop moving the bowl. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna rinse off my hands. Also not editing that out because it's gonna be a short video regardless. So, 2 cups of shredded carrot. I did this earlier. Again, whisk. Now this won't take as much to mix up because obviously it's just a grated carrot. You can too, if you find these chunks to be a bit too big, you can always grate your carrot, put it on a cutting board, and then chop it up a bit smaller if you like. That's what I like to do with zucchini a lot. But I've always been a fan of carrot cakes, so they've always been bigger pieces, and I'm okay with that. Just gonna use my little baby spatula. Good stuff. Okay, now this is the part where we don't want to overmix. So now we're going to take this flour and we're going to add it in. Well, I should say flour mixture. Whoop. Okay. So this is not something where you have to fold or anything like that. You can mix it up with a bigger spoon. You don't have to use a little baby spatula like I did. That's just preference. Oh, I might add, we should probably turn the stove on too. So the stove should be turned on to 425, and that's going to be to start. And you're going to cook it, or should I say cook it, bake it for 5 minutes, and then we're going to cool it down to 350 and continue to bake for another 15 minutes. I'm just going to turn the bowl here. There's a big pile of flour. I'm not going to lie, for my weak wrist, this is already killing me. I used to knead all my bread by hand. I used to do a couple loaves a week. And now I'm resorted to bread machines and complaining about stirring up some carrot cake. So now this, all we're doing is we're just trying to get, so there's little white patches. You're trying to get all those little streaks or bubbles of flour out, but that's it. We don't want to overmix this one because it will become tougher. Okay, that's it. So now we're going to put this into there, and then that's going to go in there. And that's it. That's done. You know what? Maybe I will make the oat crumble. Yeah, maybe I will. Let's do that. All right, went for the crumble. Couldn't resist. So in here I've got a 1/4 cup of oats, 2 tablespoons of flour, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and I'm about to add 2 tablespoons of melted butter. That's probably where I'm getting it wrong on this whole eating healthy thing, is melted butter. At least it's vegan though. Always a vegan butter, because I mean it just tastes really good, so why not? So crumbles are pretty easy to whip up. I mean, I'm sure if you wanted to, you could probably add some cinnamon into the crumble as well. But there we go. So that's just a little bit. Okay, come on now. Do you see this? Would you? Okay, that's just a nuisance. It's a good thing I've washed my hands. Always wash your hands. I wash my hands like 18 times when I'm baking and cooking. Okay, so there we go. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it on here. And then into the oven. That'll be pretty simple. I want to make sure I have at least a little bit on all of it because I don't want to go too overboard. That's why I didn't make as much. I always found when it comes to doing recipes that call for being rolled in sugar or even a topping as simple as this, you can usually cut it in half and still have plenty, because I find, especially rolling anything into any type of sugar, I always find that I am wasting so much sugar after. So if you don't want to end up wasting that white gold being sugar on anything like your garbage because you had to roll some cookies in it, just cut it in half. Whatever the recipe you're doing tells you, just do much less. If you have to add more, you can add more. It's easier to add a little bit more than it is to take it away, because once you've rolled something in it, it's no longer good. It's like if you did a shake and bake chicken and you had some leftover shake and bake, you don't just put it in the container, fridge, in a Ziploc, and then just no. I'm not gonna continue with that thought, because that's just gross. If you do that, that is definitely, I'm sure, against some sort of FDA standards. So here it is, carrot muffins with a crumble. So as I said, we're going to do it at 425 for 5 minutes, turn the heat down to 350, and then just continue to bake for another 15 minutes. You do not have to take it out or anything. So this will be nice. All right, I got my little helper over here on the floor, as you can see. I just figured we'd throw this in now. Yeah, I can't tell. My display is old. Don't mind the little bit of mess in here. It wasn't my fault. The boyfriend was cooking. And there we go. Let's start this first 5 minutes. Alright guys, I'm going to crouch down because I know my camera angle. So the timer just went off. I just checked them. I could tell right away just by looking at them. I mean, even now with the light on, I can tell they're not quite done. They were still a little jiggly in the center. And when I put the toothpick in, it came out covered in batter. So I'm going to add another 5 minutes, check it again, different muffin, another toothpick, and hopefully they'll be done. Back again. This time, I think it's done, so... Okay. A couple of them are still sunken in, but that, again, could be my fault. Let's just check them quick and see. Ooh, look at that. Okay. We're just gonna... It's sunken in. Let's try one of these guys. All the way through. Yep, that's clean. Okay, that's the one I stuck the first time, so let's do this one. So yeah, the only reason why some of these have sunken in is purely my fault. That's just the crumble. Woo, I'm in my own light, but there we go. And that's it. These guys are done and ready to enjoy. Okay, let's... Oh yeah, that's nice. That's perfect. I don't need icing. I love a good cream cheese frosting. Don't get me wrong, but again, trying to be nice to the line here. I will try this later. I'm going to let them cool for now, but I think this was a complete success. I think they came out really, really well. I can't wait to dive in, but I'm not going to burn myself for content. It's not happening. So we'll let this cool. We'll check it out. If you like what you've seen so far, please like the video. You can also subscribe. I will be doing a lot of stuff. For the first bit, again, the filming is going to be absolute crap. The lighting is going to be crap. I live in an older house. I will slowly try to, change these things around. I'm also going to get an island, so maybe I can do like other people do, where it's actually facing me and I don't have to constantly move or keep myself out. It'll be me and whatever I'm doing right in front of me. So I'm going to look at getting some rolling kitchen island that I can use, so I can set up a better camera angle, because I don't like the layout of my kitchen at all. So there it is, carrot muffins. We'll let them cool. We'll see how they taste. Alright, there it is. The cupcake is done. I decided to take one of the sunken in ones just because, it's not as pretty. And we're going to... I let it sit long enough that it's got that nice crust on top. But there it is. There's the inside. And let's see what this tastes like. Also, I apologize if my mic... Well, not my mic, but if my sound's bad, it's because I'm not wearing my mic. But bon appetit! Oh yeah. Oh, that's good. Hope you guys made it, tried it, love it.